The following story is based on an actual reported encounter. All names have been changed for privacy. Danny and Eileen, a young couple dating for about a year, shared a love of nature. They decided to take a weekend camping trip to Hocking Hills, Ohio for a quick getaway. They didn't realize their trip would end in a nightmare. On the first day, Danny said they enjoyed a day hike, exploring the picturesque trees, and walked around part of the lake. As the sun began to set, they headed back to the campsite. However, their peaceful evening took an unexpected turn when a large branch suddenly crashed to the ground just a few steps behind them. Startled, they couldn't see where it had come from. Danny said he was glad it landed after they passed, and they continued walking, following the same trail they had taken earlier. To their surprise, they came across another large branch blocking the trail, even though it hadn't been there before. They exchanged puzzled glances and continued on, both agreeing they would be glad to get back to the site. As they walked, they heard branches breaking behind them, and Eileen swore she saw something moving by a large tree ducking out of sight. Danny looked but saw nothing, so they cautiously moved on, now on edge. Back at their campsite, they were in the company of other campers. They settled in for the night, enjoying the sounds of the forest around them. Suddenly, a voice rang out from the woods, followed by a man bursting out of the trees, claiming he had seen Bigfoot. Some people laughed, thinking he was joking, but he seemed genuinely scared and insisted on leaving immediately. Danny said Eileen looked at him, her eyes wide with fear, and asked if he thought the man had seen the same thing she had. Danny wasn't sure, but suggested they keep their eyes peeled. The next day, they decided to take a different trail. About an hour into their hike, they spotted something in the distance that looked like a bear. It was bent over a dead deer feeding on a carcass. Eileen involuntarily gasped and covered her mouth as the sight was unexpected, but it was too late. The creature had heard her. The creature looked up at them, and they were horrified to realize it was a Sasquatch. The towering creature stood up on two legs, its teeth covered in blood from its recent kill. He said the roar was a deafening sound he could feel in his chest. It began to charge toward them. In a panic, Danny and Eileen turned and ran as fast as they could back toward their campsite. The creature hot on their heels for a few minutes. Fortunately, it decided to go back to its meal as they stopped hearing it behind them. After what felt like an eternity, they finally reached their camp, where they quickly packed up their gear and told the other campers what they had seen. With the image of the bloodied Bigfoot burned into their minds, they jumped into their car and drove away, vowing never to return to Hocking Hills again. Danny said it's the scariest thing he has ever experienced. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Dreamscape Horrors, as there's much more to come.